So, hello and welcome to that here. Well, yeah, probably some of you are like already thinking, what the hell is that? That's practically not what's regularly on the list or written down anywhere. Most likely I won't even put the game title in the, into the video title because, mouse, don't be so sensitive, thank you. Because that format here should be a non-regular one. That usually means that I talk, since I didn't really want to talk in front of a blank screen, which would be boring, and then probably, I would need to watch the video in order to get clicks, which I wouldn't do, because, obvious reasons. So I want to kind of like talk, inform, get some feedback or suggestions, depending on, whatever you have to say or nothing, or what you want to say. Well, first off, kind of like one big point for me, which I wanted to say is, where have I been? Is my, the other videos. I found hopefully some saves of The Witcher, which should, rather sooner or later continue at least, because it would be so annoying to play again The Witcher. At least I think something like 20 to 30 hours, the same stuff over and over again that I have already played. So yeah, I hope that is understandable. So The Witcher should, most likely in sometime October, continue. That being said, until then, if I get it done earlier, then it's earlier, which is hopefully good. And if it's done a bit later, I hope that's as well still okay with everyone. If not, then you can write down if you are like, I wanna see The Witcher definitely sooner than that, then, I'll try my best. What are you doing there, chicken? And the reason why you see Minecraft is, it's one of those nice let's plays where there isn't really much story or anything like that to, kind of like to interfere and distract, and I can simply talk all time long. Okay, it sounds kind of bad, but I hope it's somehow, entertaining at least. So that you wouldn't see me talking in front of a black screen, which would be, at least I imagine that to be even more boring. So, that is the reason why I started, damn it, let's make it smaller then. That's why I started doing that format, which will only come when I have something interesting to say that, has something to do with the channel or brings up interesting news, at least which I find to be interesting. They don't really necessarily need to be that interesting, or in general, at least something that I would think, hey, that could be nice to know. So, yeah. And as well I have some projects that I will want to do in the future. That list isn't getting shorter, as I hoped at the start, but only longer, and longer. Okay, and one of those projects should be eventually Dishonored or the next StarCraft campaign, since in I think sometime this autumn the new StarCraft campaign should be released, so I kind of like thought, okay, let's try to finish it, that we could do that in one flow. And after that, probably as well that we will do Skyrim for the role-playing game after we are done with The Witcher, so that people wouldn't get bored with Geralt all the time, that you would have then, well, Dragon Age Origins of course as a start, and then later on, I don't know, maybe Witcher 2 again if everyone wants to see The Witcher again, then of course comes The Witcher again, or if you want to see another role-playing game, or I don't know, or in general another kind of game. Well, and I was as well thinking maybe sometime in the future a horror game, but that I don't want to kind of like spoil yet which one it will be. So yeah, there hopefully at least that should be my start. That we get these horror games. That one should be interesting. So at least the concept to me is quite interesting. So I decided to bring that. And probably if I finally, if I get another horror game beforehand, and I'm, well, happy with the story or whatnot ever, or what else the game has to offer, I might bring it as well. But, so yeah. What do we have so far? Some new games. Check. God, I guess I need to turn the sound a bit more down, since it's quite irritating. Or at least while trying to make a continuously talking style of, well, I don't know how to call it. Talk thing. Blah. So, and as well, kind of like one reason for me why I'm, well, mostly busy all day long is that I have, well, I think you can call it some work. I think you can call it work, but, well, kind of maybe forced labor or in general work, and that's why mainly the reason why I can't really reply to comments that fast, since when coming home after working 8 hours, well, which is, at least the job that I have doesn't sound that hard, but it is in the end. No. Well, it doesn't sound hard, but it is in the end. So I'm always rather, well, tired and more like brain off, and trying to more like, okay, that needs a bit more time, and trying to kind of like not fall asleep while sitting on the chair and recording today's episode, since I always tend to record. Since I always tend to record for the same day the episode needs to be released, I rarely kind of like pre-produce anything. So, will you shut up, Enderman? God damn it. So yeah, if you have any kind of feedback or want to see kind of like a different game in the background, or if you're like saying, okay, you should you probably should simply kind of like record some gameplay and talk over it. Or, well, I'm open to any kind of suggestion of what to do, or more like, or what topics, or, well, if you have any questions, or whatever, where you think that you want to comment, or where you want to give a comment, or, well, if you have something to say and you don't know exactly when or where to put it. But of course, as long as it's something nice and, well, keeping always, okay, an egg, since always keeping a kind of friendly environment and so on and so forth, should be all understandable and no-brainer. So, okay. And, well, practically one reason why I don't really want to put the game title into the, well, like into the video description or into the text or so is, well, it should be practically about talking and informing. If that is informing at all, well, it kind of is, but well, I guess you get what I want to say. Why have I built such a small... I don't know. So, then let's do at least something sensible during the night. Okay. Well, what else to say? Anything else? Well, yeah. At least I'm trying to bring that. I guess I'll try to bring it maybe once every 1 to 2 weeks or so. If something interesting happens or some video roll tends to stop because, I don't know, video gets corrupted or any other reason. So that I can kind of like have a place or so, or like that I have a video slot where I can be like, yeah, okay, video XY doesn't come for the next few months, days, or how long it will take for me to either recover or re-record it. So, well, if you have any other ideas what could be done with that talking thing or how to name it, that would be as well very grateful if you could leave me suggestions, since I have no idea what kind of name to give that. Probably something like let's talk, or I don't know. Well, you decide in the end what you think fits for it. So, okay. And as well, you can probably write down which, I think I've already said that, which project you want to see in the future, kind of like which one sooner, which one later, or in general any kind of other game, though I can't promise to bring it since, well, if I don't have it, I would either need to get it or, I don't know, I would need to take a look at it and so on and so forth, and it might be that probably that game wouldn't be that kind of game I would usually play, so on and so forth, ramble. Well, okay. So I guess, and I as well want to apologize for the last few days, since there was supposed to be StarCraft 2 and Deponia, but because there was some, well, quite a lot to do during the weekend, like going to family and so on. I was quite busy. And what was that? Was that an Enderman just inside here? Well, I was busy and I tried to record StarCraft, but it wasn't really willing to get itself recorded in the end. I have no idea why, and phone. Why do people call exactly then when you do a recording? That is as well one topic I would like to talk about I guess sometime in the future. I guess then, I hope you leave some comments, I don't know, say whatever you want to say, it's bad, stop that shit, or continue on, bring it, I don't know, every month. Maybe 2 weeks is too much. In general, bring it once every month for when it's needed, or I don't know. Feel creative, write something down below, or I don't know, whatever you want. As long as I can read it then in the end, if you want me to read it. So, see ya.